Yo, I'm starting to think I need a curtain because this shit is bright. Yeah, it's bright as fuck. But yeah, I don't know if this top fives channel is real or not. I know there's like a top five, and then there's this one's this top five unknown. I don't know if it's real or not, but I don't see why it wouldn't be. And I decided I think it'd be interesting to see mysterious disappearances. So let's check it out.
Unsolved disappearances
I'm sure
often
these could all be
cause
looked up as
families
well.
and investigators to become frustrated when there aren't enough clues or witnesses that can aid in an investigation. But
I can
when
look any
there
of these
is
up as well
evidence,
anyway,
such
if I
as
don't believe it.
mysterious disappearances caught on camera, it becomes even more frustrating when the missing person is still nowhere to be found.
If I could take
Number
this off.
5.
No.
The mysterious disappearance of Iwona Witorek is one of the most widely covered Polish cases in the country's history.
Damn, look at them
In
pearls.
2010, Iwona was fresh out of high school, and she was planning to go on a holiday trip to Spain in the near future while waiting for information on her university admission. On Friday, the 6th of July, she attended a party that was being held at an allotment by one of her friends. Following that, she went to a nightclub along with her friend, Adria,
This
and
was
3
fresh out of high
colleagues
school?
named Powell, Marek, and Adrian. While in the club, an argument broke out, though it's unclear what it was about. Iwona's friends say that she left the club after losing her temper
By
and walked
herself?
towards the seaside promenade, as is evidenced by CCTV footage from outside the
Dude,
club.
ladies, man, I don't understand why you girls just think that you can, like, I get it, you know? But don't go walk in the middle of the night, especially when you're drunk. Don't go by yourself. Take at least a friend with you, you know? Like, take somebody with you. You know? I don't understand it. Like, I get it. She's probably drunk as fuck. She probably got pissed off at one of them and was like, dude, I need to go cool off, or fuck it, I'm gonna just walk home. I don't want to deal with this shit. But then they go missing. Like, come on, dude. And she was fresh out of high school. Like, that's fucked up. Imagine being the parents, you know, and your kid, like, literally just graduated high school. You're like, finally an adult, you know, about to start. I want my grandkids already, you know. And then you hear that not only is your child, you know, probably dead, but, like, I mean, imagine. I feel like having your kid kidnapped, or, like, I mean, anyone you know, really, but imagine your own kid got kidnapped and you don't even know what kind of shit they went through before they died, you know? Especially when they're tortured and shit. It's just like, dude, imagine how scared and alone they were. And it's so fucked up because, like, what can you do, you know? It's not like you can protect everybody all the time. There's just sick fucks out there, and it's so weird that people do this. It's so weird that people kidnap. I just watched a video on the Amazon killer, or the Amazon review killer. That dude's a fucking psycho, man. That dude used to, like, just randomly kidnap people and stick them in, like, containers, like cargo ship containers, and, like, just keep them in there and just fucking do whatever he wanted to them, and just made them just sitting there, and then he would kill them whenever he just didn't want them anymore. Dude is weird, man. And there's so many people like him. People are fucking...
She had no money on her, and her phone's battery was almost empty. She
People gotta be
stayed on
more
the
safe,
promenade
too.
until the break of dawn at
Keep a
around
weapon
4
on you, man,
a.m.
like a little pocket
and
knife.
started to head home on foot through Seaside
Some
Boulevard.
pepper spray.
Her house was
Something.
about 3.5 miles away, and her feet were sore from wearing high heels all night. On her way home, she texted multiple people, including Adria, saying that she's upset that she didn't follow her out of the club. She then phoned Adria, who says that they managed to settle the argument over the phone. Just after 4 a.m., she called Adria again to say that her phone was dying and to tell her where she was. She was heading to Adria's house, and she was still intoxicated and didn't want her mother to see her in that state. Adria was almost home and told Iwona that she would leave keys outside for her. CCTV footage at the beach shows a man in a plaid shirt walking a small distance behind her with a towel over his shoulder.
What a weirdo.
He has never been identified. The next morning, Adria noticed that the keys that were left out for Iwona were never used, and she never arrived at the apartment. Iwona remains missing to this day, and none of her clothing or possessions from that night have ever been found. Number 4.
That's so weird, man. Imagine like telling your friend, like, imagine telling your friend, yo, I'm gonna leave the keys out for you whenever you get back. Just oops. Whenever you get home, just kind of do what you gotta do. Get in, put the key up, and then you wake up and like they never came back, and you're like, what the hell? And you text them, and then they just like never respond, and then you never you never hear from them again. It's like, what the fuck happened, dude? It's weird. What happened?
Cape Coral, Florida. Police released CCTV footage in which she was applying for a job at a gas station. Lauren was living with her boyfriend, Gabriel Pena, at the time, in the Coronado Parkway apartments.
That's gotta be even worse too. I mean, having, well, maybe just as bad, but yeah, having your kid get kidnapped is pretty shitty too. Well, very shitty. But imagine having like your significant other kidnapped. Like, fucking hell, dude. That's gotta be like, person you're supposed to protect, and then they get kidnapped by someone. Imagine what you do to the dude
Lauren
that took
had been
her
in
to
a car accident, which led her to having to take prescribed medication.
Some
She
people are just
became
weird,
addicted,
bro.
but after giving birth to her daughter, she fought hard to kick the habit. She would relapse, however, and lose custody of her daughter to her parents. On the 21st of June, 2020, she checked herself into a mental health facility, but upon being released, became addicted, but after prescribed medication. Led her to having to take prescribed medication.
Oh, probably
She
had
checked
your
herself
codeines or
into a
something.
mental health facility, but upon being released on the 18th, she immediately started to look for a second job, which she was applying for at a gas station. Lauren's sister, Cassie, said that she spoke to Lauren that night and that she was worried that she wouldn't find another job since the coronavirus pandemic was in full swing. Cassie told her to phone back the next day so that she could help Lauren find information.
I'm sorry, but that's such a weird thing that's gonna go down in all of our history. It's almost like the Great Depression, A lot of people are gonna be like their whole future's changed because they got kicked out because they couldn't afford rent somewhere, or they had to downgrade where they're living because of losing their jobs and shit. And then some people just straight up went like homeless. Like I see people that look bougie with like nice clothes, like someone you would assume lives in a nice big house, and they're sitting on the side of the road begging as a whole family, like a man and wife or whatever, and children, and they're all like I've seen it everywhere, like a bunch of different places, whole families sitting together begging, saying like lost job because of COVID or whatever, even to this day, and it's like 2 years later. Like this shit is wild, bro. And then now there's like a new variant, and there's just gonna be more and more variants. Like, bro, what is gonna happen, man?
On filing for unemployment if it was needed. The following morning, Gabriel left for work at 6 a.m. while Lauren was still sleeping. A maintenance worker saw her at 8:15 a.m. and she asked if she knew of any apartment complexes in the area that would be cheaper to stay at, stating that she wanted to get out of her current situation. Her family has stated that this conversation doesn't make any sense, as she had just borrowed money from Cassie to pay her rent in full, as she liked living there. At around 10 a.m., Lauren's phone was used to make a Facebook call to Gabriel's phone, but he didn't answer as he was too busy to see the call. That would be the last known activity from Lauren. When Gabriel got home that evening, she wasn't home, and he contacted her father.
Bro, I'm sorry, but imagine that too. Imagine missing the call. Imagine like, your girl went missing, and like she had tried to call you, but you missed her call. Like, oh my god, bro, that's gotta be the worst. Wow.
Paul in California, but they decided to wait and see if she turned up. The following day, Cassie asked Gabriel to contact her as soon as he got home to let her know if Lauren was there, but he stated that he wasn't going home and would be staying over at a friend's house. Paul asked Gabriel to file a missing persons report, and Gabriel stated that he had already called, but the police hadn't shown up. Paul would later learn that there had never been a call made to police. That weekend, Lauren's purse was found at the Four Freedoms Park with her wallet, ID, and bank cards inside. She still remains a missing person. Number 3.
Wait, so then that means Gabriel killed her, right?
Stated that he wasn't going home and would be staying over at a friend's house. Paul asked Gabriel to file a missing persons report, and Gabriel stated that he had already called, but the police hadn't shown up. Paul would later learn that there had never been a call made to police. Number 3.
So Gabriel killed her.
The last time that Prisma Reyes was seen before her unsolved disappearance was at the Olympus at Ross Apartments in Old East Dallas on the 17th of April, 2019. In surveillance footage taken from the apartments, she is seen seemingly stumbling around near elevators in the building's garage.
Drunk.
That afternoon, Prisma left her job at a car dealership and traveled to the E-Bar Tex-Mex restaurant on North Haskell Avenue. She had lunch with her ex-boyfriend, during which they got into an argument and he ended up leaving. She then phoned her babysitter to inform her that she would be picking up her son at 7:30 p.m. and stayed at the restaurant for a further 3 hours until the barman refused to serve her any more drinks.
She
then left the restaurant and was involved in a road rage incident, which resulted in police being called. When they arrived, she had, however, already left the scene. It's not
I'll never understand road rage, man. Like, both of you lose. Why fuck up your car even more, you know? Or at all.
Believed that the incident had anything to do with her disappearance, though. Prisma then drove to her ex's apartment, where she was captured on CCTV, talking on her phone and getting into an elevator. Another resident would later tell police that she was crying at the time. The person that she was speaking to on the phone was also tracked down, but they didn't have any useful information. Her ex wasn't home at the time, and although Prisma was never seen leaving the building, not all of the building's exits have security cameras. When she didn't arrive to pick up her son from the babysitter, they became concerned, and she was reported missing at 9:30 p.m. Her Jeep was found abandoned at her ex's apartment building the following day, blocking an intersection near the apartment gate, indicating that she didn't intend to stay there for very long. No evidence of foul play was ever found, but to this day, no further trace of Prisma has ever been found either. Number 2.
Yo, that's weird, man. Because imagine, that just means, like, if it wasn't the ex, that would mean that it's some random ass person in the apartment complex was just walking by, saw some girl and kidnapped her. And like, how did you kidnap her? Did you say like, yo, come check this out? Like, or did you just like wrestle her down or something? Like, I don't get it. How do you kidnap someone in an apartment complex in the middle of the day without being noticed? That's so weird, especially if you live there. Like, it had to have been someone that lived there. What the fuck? Why didn't they just search every room over there? I don't know, man.
26-year-old Jawahir Heji was last seen in person.
That's fucking weird, dude. It's like, literally, imagine that means someone was probably walking by, saw her, and then was like, yo, I'm gonna take her real quick. And if they did that to her, which was some random girl visiting the apartment complex, then that would mean they probably done that to other people too. That's fucking weird.
Las Vegas Boulevard, near Pebble Road, on December 22nd, 2020, at approximately 12 p.m. The following day, police found her car at Shaded Canyon Drive, near Horizon Ridge Parkway in Henderson, where she had mysteriously disappeared. Surveillance footage would reveal that she was walking next to a construction site near the Amargosa Trail.
What is this
close
camera?
To the base of Black Mountain.
Where the fuck is this
On
camera
Christmas
located?
Day, her family reported her as a missing person when she hadn't returned home for 3 days.
What a random camera.
Shows that Jawahir must have been sitting in her car for nearly 2 hours before eventually getting out.
Where would that camera have been? Like on a light pole? I was gonna say light post. Would it be on a light pole, or would it be like? I don't think it would be one of the houses because it looked like they were being built. It was construction. It said. So yeah, there probably wasn't even any houses. It probably wasn't a building. I don't fucking know, dude.
Putting her keys on the roof of the car and then walking
Satellite
down the
footage.
trail before disappearing forever. Her phone was also found in the car, but the call records had been deleted and no messages were found that indicated she
Wait, so she just
was in the car
threw her phone in her car and just walked away from it?
for nearly 2 hours before eventually getting out, putting her keys on the roof of the car and then walking down the trail before disappearing forever.
Why would she do that?
Her phone was also found in the car, but the call records had been deleted and no messages were found that indicated she was meeting up with anyone at the time. Jawahar had never been to that site before, and her family has stated that they are baffled as to why she was there in the first place, since she didn't ever hike on her own. During the time that she was sitting in her car, construction was ongoing at the site, but no one has come forward with any information about where she may have gone. A police dog was brought to the area, and it picked up Jawahar's scent, leading police down the trail towards another residential area.
Police dogs are so
But despite
fucking cool.
several more searches, including cadaver dogs, Red Rock search and rescue volunteers, drones and helicopters, no further clues were found. Her family continued to conduct searches for some time after her disappearance, but these have also proved to be fruitless. It's believed
Fruitless?
that at the time of her disappearance, she may have been under severe emotional distress
I was
and
gonna say-
possibly in need of medical attention. Jawahar's family
I was gonna say, do you think she like, contemplated like just restarting her life? You know, and maybe she just drove out there and she was just kind of thinking for a little bit. That's why she was in the car for 2 hours. She might have been like, you know, like, am I gonna do this? Like, what am I gonna do? Where am I gonna go? Blah blah blah. You know, left her phone, deleted everything because she's like, fuck it, bro. Like, I'm gonna just restart. Or maybe she did meet someone. Maybe she met someone, and he was like, yo, just ditch the shit right there. We'll start our life somewhere over here, and then, you know.
has offered a $20,000 reward for any information that leads to her whereabouts. Number 1.
Yeah, maybe she just wanted to restart. Maybe she just bailed, left her keys, left the car, left her family. Or, I mean, unless she was single, but I don't know. I don't know. Maybe she just restarted her life.
Michael Stewart, a 40-year-old man from Staten
ran away with
Island,
someone that
was
she
a
met.
union carpenter who helped rebuild Ground Zero from the September 11th attacks at the World Trade Center in 2001. He was reported as a missing person when he didn't show up on Christmas Day of 2018 to spend time with his 4-year-old daughter and 11-year-old son. His family knew that something was wrong and contacted police, who started an investigation. The last time he was seen is on surveillance footage taken inside the Back to Life barbershop in Port Richmond.
I thought they were about to start
Here,
beefing.
he is seen with a man called Angelo Nessimi, an acquaintance of his. After entering the barbershop, Michael is seen approaching Nessimi, who is seated in a barber's chair. He walks over to him in a playful manner, and Nessimi is seen pushing him away, smiling. He then leans over the chair and grabs Nessimi's head, embracing him. The two men seemingly
this dude
continue
is
to
just
talk
like
while
a
the barber
character?
works on
Or is he, like,
Nessimi's
drunk
hair,
or on drugs or
and a
something?
short while later, they seem to prepare to leave the shop together. Some sources close to the case have said that other surveillance footage shows Michael getting into an argument with two men outside of the barber shop. This is after he left O'Neill's Irish Pub on Forest Avenue at around 6:30 p.m. The last time that Michael was heard from is in a text message that he sent to his mother on the 21st of December that simply
fuck?
read, "Please help me, Mom."
That's creepy.
On the 31st of December, Nessimi was arrested for assault on his girlfriend, Zamira Sanchez.
Come on,
He was
dude.
also charged for criminal mischief after he damaged a portion of a detective room at a precinct in Staten Island. When police started to fear that Michael's life may have been ended, both Nessimi and Sanchez were interrogated. Sanchez told police that Nassimi had indeed ended someone's life and asked her to help him get rid of the evidence in New Jersey. It came to light that Michael had in fact been having a relationship with the couple, though it isn't clear in exactly what capacity. In January of 2019, the New York City Police Department joined.
Wait a second. So are they saying that? Okay, so first of all, for a second I thought they said Michael was beating up on his chick. So, so no, it's the guy that he got in an argument with. Wait a second. So he got. But the picture showed he was in an argument with two dudes, and they also said he got in an argument with two dudes. So who the fuck is this chick? And who, like, what? Hold up. Who the fuck is Nassimi? Michael, see, just getting in an argument with two men. Asked his mom, who the fuck is Nassimi? So they didn't say shit
the
about
evidence
Nassimi.
in New Jersey. It came to light that Michael had in fact been having a relationship with the couple, though it isn't clear in exactly what capacity. In January of 2019, the New York City Police Department joined forces with Pennsylvania police to search a landfill for any clues as to what may have happened to him. They believe that he may have been left there after his life was ended. Michael is described as around 5 foot 7 inches tall and weighing about 170 pounds.
He looks like a bulky dude,
At the
bro.
time of his disappearance, he was wearing an army green jacket and a black winter hat. Due to police's concerns that he may have been hurt, the case is being treated as a homicide. Thank you guys.
That's wicked. I wonder what happened. Maybe old girl was, that was his, she was his, or maybe he was old girl's side dude, and then homie found out, and then, you know, or maybe I don't know, maybe they were in a three-way kind of relationship, and then shit got weird and they didn't want him to tell anyone, or I don't know, man. That just seems weird. I don't know. Fucking creepy, though. But keep an eye out for these people. See ya.